How much is your controller?
Never been out of the packet.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, no, it's great. That's out of mine. I mean, it's never. It might say grey, but
Yeah.
it's never been out of this box. You don't think you could get it out without opening it?
No.
Tenner. For what it is, collectible.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to another pickups video. As you can see, I've been out in the sun, enjoying a nice shade of red, and this morning I took a brisk walk down to the Carboot sale. I was woke quite early, so I've got an absolute massive amount of stuff to show you. Definitely recommend picking up your favourite beverage. A little bit early on the Sunday here to the drinking lager quite yet, so we'll stick with tea. But I'll try and be as quick as possible. So if you've seen that video yesterday, you already realised I had loads of stuff to pick up over the last month that I've not made a pickups video about just because I've not really been bothered. And then I went to the car boot this morning and come back with about, well, perhaps even more stuff, so I thought I'm really backlogged now, I'm going to make an effort. So let's just crack right on with it. Like I said, I'll try and be as quick as possible. So we'll start with the car boot sale because that's freshest in my mind. So like I said, I got there nice and early this morning. First game I picked up was Pandemonium on the original PlayStation. In pretty nice condition. Obviously it's a platinum release, I'm not really bothered. I did buy this off eBay a few months ago, but the disc was in a bad way, so I sent it back, so I paid pretty good money for it, and it turns out it was a wise move then, as I got this for 50p. Next game I don't know anything about, but it's a Blockbuster rental copy, and I know Lebossu 77 Owen, I've heard him mention it before, and it's Legend of Legaia. So, no idea. It doesn't include the instructions, but what it does include is not only the disc for Legend of Legaia, but also the disc for Star Ocean, the second story, which I believe is a pretty well regarded role-playing game, so don't know, I'll definitely have to try them out. Take a look. So the next guy I come up to had an Xbox 360 game. I actually did buy this to sell it back on because he wanted £5 for it, and that game was Skyrim. And as I will show you some of the contents in this box at the end of this video, I don't mind getting a little bit of money towards paying for a certain item that I've bought that will hopefully benefit everyone who watches my videos. So next lot are all PS2 games. Bought these all off the same seller, £1 each. I didn't bother arguing because they're in lovely condition. And so let's crack right on. First one is Resident Evil Outbreak File 2. A bit gutted actually because they had two copies of this. One was really badly water stained, but I didn't realise it was an Ethernet link-up game. As being as I got two PS2 Slims, I'm always on the lookout for picking up games like that. It may well be terrible, but we shall find out at some point. The next game is Star Wars Battlefront, and I used to own this game on the original Xbox, and I distinctly remember preferring this to the sequel, although I have got two copies of the sequel, again for the link-up. It would be interesting to see how they compare. As far as I remember, this one's more about the original trilogy, which is what I'm all about. I don't like this new stuff. Next one is Crisis Zone. Don't know a lot about this, other than it's in the entry into the Time Crisis series. I've got 2 and 3, and 3 isn't as good as 2 in my opinion, so I imagine this isn't as good as 2 either. But for £1, why not? Next one, very well regarded series, look forward to playing this through with my mate actually. It's Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. It says it's got 2 player modes, and it's a hack and slash kind of role-playing game, kind of dungeon crawler. I'm not too sure, but not something that I've really played in the past, but I'm up for giving it a go. Something a little bit different. Next one, I used to own this game originally on a PlayStation 2. That's the first Ace Combat game I ever played, Ace Combat Distant Thunder. Fantastic graphics. At the time this was completely like jaw-dropping, I couldn't believe it. I got to like level 5 and just couldn't get any further. But it'll be fun to go back and give it a whirl. Although that'd probably be something more doing a helicopter than a plane, but all the same. And the last PlayStation 2 game, quite pleased to pick this up, although I have heard it will break your joystick. And that's XII Stag. It's a potato shooter. Again, like all these games, useful condition. Very well looked after. So also at the car boot sale, No, that's actually no, right. Yeah, at the car boot sale, that was it really. And I'm about to give up, but I spotted a couple of attractive young ladies, Lionel's Sun Lounge, who had a store. I had a bit of banter with them earlier, so I decided to return, and prices zone, prices zone, prices zone. So I walked on by, but they turned out to be a good omen, because then I came across a really nice little bundle for £8. Selling wanted 10, but I knocked them down, and they included some nice Nintendo stuff. So in the box was, strangely, another instruction manual for Ace Combat Distance Thunder, an instruction manual for Crisis Beat on the PS1, instruction manual for Super Mario Land 2. Oddly enough, I used to own this game, and I had the box, the inlay, everything, but I didn't have the instructions. I don't own it anymore, but now I own the instructions. And that's Batman Return of the Joker on the Game Boy, pretty decent. And compact video game system brochure, I think that's what you get with the just this standard system when you buy it. So let's get on to the interesting stuff in the bundle. First up, with a nice crystal Xbox joypad. Which you may recently know, I did pick up an Xbox. I've not got all the leads yet, but I'm getting there. And this looks in pretty nice condition. I've cleaned most of this stuff up just because generally it gets some colours, so it's absolutely disgusting. Next out of the box. I'll show you both of these at once. Right, all should be alright. Right, there's a big fat Xbox joypad. Quite fond of these actually. I didn't realise until I got this one, but that's just cool now. Just reminds me of a big burger. But yeah, why not? Again, seems in pretty good nick. A power pack for a Nintendo console. But can you guess which one? Well, you won't have to wait long, because it was a Nintendo NES. It came with 2 controllers. And the system, man, it seems like it's all good news at the minute, doesn't it? But not quite, because I spent about the last 2 hours trying to fix this thing. I got rid of the blinky red light, I disabled the lockout chip, but it still looks like it needs a new 72-pin connector, because all I'm getting is a white screen. So, from doing a bit of Google searching, that's what I discovered. But the unit's in nice condition, and I'm quite pleased to pick it up. I wanted to add a NES to the collection. I didn't want to pay over the odds for the odds one, and this turned out to be a complete bargain. So, was there any games, you say? There was a few. Unfortunately, Clumsy Darren dropped one of them on the floor in the kitchen, and so that rattles now. But it was Super Mario Bros. 3, so hopefully I've not completely killed it, but it sounds to me like I snapped a screw or something like that. But if I buy one of those security lock things, the Nintendo cartridges, I can probably undo it, and even if I've got to use a hot glue gun, I could perhaps sort it out. The next game was WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge. Don't know a lot about it, but it doesn't look like Ultimate Warrior's in it, so I would say not too good a game. Then the classic Super Mario Bros. May well become a donation cartridge for Mario Bros. 3, which we'll see. What's on the sleeves now? We've got Ghostbusters 2. As far as I can remember, this is a pretty fantastic Ghostbusters game. One I'm very excited to own, and that's Excite Bike. This will be the first game when I eventually get that thing sorted. I'll probably buy a 72-pin connector and be done with it. That's the first game I'm putting on. To me, I mean, I used to own an NES probably in the early 90s when most people were playing Mega Drive. I just got my first NES, and I loved it, and Excite Bike was one of the games I got, and it's just classic to me, that is. I love it. So, here's probably the 2 most exciting games, and that's David Crane's A Boy and His Blob, Trouble on Blomlonia. I played the Game Boy version, I've not played the NES version, I should imagine it's pretty cool. And here's probably the star of the show, although not really my kind of game, but very well regarded, and I think this fetches quite a decent price on eBay, and it's DuckTales 2. So, not in bad condition. I'll certainly give it a go when I get the NES sorted out. So that was it from the car boot sale this week, today's. But there was a few items that I bought the other week from the car boot sale, so we'll see if we can sort that out first. Here we go. First one I bought from the car boot the other week was Resident Evil. It's on Platinum, but it was the only Resident Evil on the PS1 that I haven't got. So I thought, why not? I've stuck it on briefly. I can't see me playing through it in all honesty, but I suppose if you wanted a complete collection, I've got one. Get rid of that in a minute. So the next 2 games are Please Cyanide Breath Mints, Ben. quite a bit, because when he watched my PlayStation 1 collection video, he said these two games were missing. So the first one is Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. Briefly played it, gets rather difficult, but I probably will stick this back on because it's got something about it that just really seems to addict. If that's even a word. Yeah, pretty quality game. And then the sequel. Because I've had them so long, I've already put them in their plastic sleeves. It's Oddworld Abe's Exodus. Again, complete and in really nice condition. This one even comes with the character card for the different verbal commands you can do during the game. So I've not played this one yet. It does say it's better on the back because you can save anywhere and the box falls apart. But yeah, at some point I should play it. So we'll continue on down the PS1 route. I went to a charity shop and for £1 I bought Formula Carts. I remember watching a gameplay of the Sega Saturn version of this from Mark Verheer, and it looked really good. And surprisingly, the carts actually feel like you're driving go-karts. I mean, in fact, not, you know, specifically, but the way the car's handle feels like a go-kart. It doesn't just drive like any old car racer. The back end slides out, it's easy to spin around, and it's a cracking little game. I stuck it on and ended up completing the entire season, which I think was about 7 or 8 races. By then, admittedly, I was bored, but an hour had passed about by then, so can't really complain. So, where should we go now? Yes, a little bundle on eBay. Basically, there's some guy local to me. He had 8 Mega Drive games. He wanted a tenner for them, so I thought fair enough. There was a game there that I wanted. The rest were a load of tat, in all honesty. And when I got there, the condition was nasty, in all honesty. I've not collector's condition, but all the same, I went there and I'll have to sort something out. But the one I went for anyway was Red Zone, and pretty new to me knowing about this shooter. It seems fairly competent. Certainly watched a few gameplay videos of it. It looks interesting and it's complete. The only that's not say disgusting. I mean, just the box is broken. You know, someone as anal as me, that's a big deal. And unfortunately, it's one of those boxes where the instruction manual is really thick, so it doesn't fit underneath the ordinary tabs. And the last game I kept from the bundle, I've owned this a few times, but I don't currently own it until now anyway, was Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. And the reason I pulled this one to one side and kept it, not because it's in the greatest condition, it doesn't even come with a manual, so it won't be going in the display cabinet. The reason I was keen to get it was because recently I picked up Street Fighter 2 Turbo for the SNES. Now I don't think there's anyone who's going to argue that the Mega Drive version is superior, but for peace of mind, I'm going to find out one day. So, where are we at now? Okay, okay, we'll carry on down the eBay route. So I was on eBay, I was just looking at games as you do, and this popped up, Gradius for the PlayStation. Now it's still sealed, unfortunately it's a Japanese version, but as a display piece, I thought I'd pick it up. I think I paid £7, and there is some damage there, but I have got the Gradius collection from a PSP. And this, I think, is the 4th Gradius game, and I really enjoy it, so I thought, you know, if I ever get a Japanese PS2, this will obviously play on it, and it's a quality game. It's worth picking up while I can get it at a good price. So, like I say, I think it's about £7. I don't know what the thinking was behind buying it, in all honesty, but there you go. So the next one picked up from eBay, £6, delivered, Speedball 2 for Japanese Mega Drive. It's in good condition, it's not amazing. It does come complete. There is a bit of discoloration to the cartridge, but nothing too bad. In a quality game, I don't think I need to tell anybody about that. Absolutely awesome. So I decided to go into Leicester one day, and this next game is really Pete SNES-tastic's fault. I think he put it in my brain, and then it just popped out at me. But I was just looking around Leicester Market, and I seen this game, Donald in Maui Mallard. Not really much idea. Like I say, SNES-tastic put a gameplay of this, or I commented about how decent it looked, and he told me that it was on the Mega Drive, and then lo and behold, the next day I found it on the market. No instructions, for £3, you can't really go wrong. So while I was in Leicester, I went to the little indoor part of the market. I don't usually go there, in fact it said it was closed that day, but there was a couple of places open. I found 2 PS2 shooters. First one is Siberia. Well, I've probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but you can see what it is. An interesting shooter. You actually get more powered up by getting close to the bullets, which is quite crazy. This memory card didn't come with it, it's just when I took it around to my friend's house. But a highly enjoyable game actually. I'm quite a fan of that, I didn't expect to be. It's obviously a bit of a budget release, but all the same, not too bad. I've not got many shooters on the PS2. And the last one I was really pleased to pick up. I really like this game. I watched Mark from Classic Game Room review this, and he didn't think that much to it, but I think it's brilliant, and that's Sci-Fi, The Lost Planet. This is very nostalgic to me, this hot price with the chili. I remember seeing that in stores when the PS2 first come out. And this is a cracking shooter, I love it. I think it's really good. A lot of fun. Maybe a bit easy, but, or certainly to start with, but it does drag you in, and definitely look forward to going back and playing that some more. So while I was in Leicester, I took a load of games that I had that nobody wanted me to try to sell them on here, put them on eBay, etc, etc. And I took them to Game World, the independent game store. They didn't offer me very much money, but I weren't bothered, I wanted a shot of them. And in exchange for all my rubbish, I managed to get myself a really nice copy of Crash Bandicoot. Now I paid $9.99, which is obviously pretty top dollar, but as the guy in the shop said to me, good sales technique, you'd be lucky to find a copy of Crash Bandicoot in this condition, just because, you know, usually the kids get to it. So, and it even comes with the original demo disc. And I've been playing this quite a bit, and it's fantastic. I forgot how different the original is to number 2 and 3 in terms of this is just a pure platform game. You know, there's no messing about, this is just the real deal. So, yeah, I'm quite pleased to pick that up, to be honest. I don't mind overpaying, because the stuff I had was just tap. Good luck to them, I couldn't sell it if they can. Fair play. So, the last item, the most expensive item, in fact you could have bought all that stuff several times just for the price of this, is a new microphone that I picked up. Mainly because I'm not very happy with the microphone on this camera. It's okay for things like this, but say if you want to play the guitar or something, it's difficult to set it up. So I decided I'm probably going to start another channel and just like put songs on it and stuff like that. Not on this channel, on another one. So I decided I wanted a decent microphone, and after watching quite a few reviews of things, I opted to get this one. Not tried it out yet, so I probably will do this afternoon. And it's the Yeti. Now this has cost me 90 quid, but apparently you don't need 2 microphones to be able to record the guitar and singing, and that is generally the problem with microphones. This has got a mode that allows it to, you know, record both at once. I think it's called Carboot or something like that. I have no idea. I should definitely have to look into it some more, but it looks like an interesting piece, and hopefully it'll benefit everyone, and I can finally be happy with the audio quality on the video. So that's it, absolutely monstrous. I'll get around to putting all this away now, but I thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll upload some more videos soon. Someone's left that, not sure why. Ginster's pie, looks like a spicy beef type affair.